Right. Good afternoon, everybody. Yeah. Welcome. Good morning. Good afternoon, IMU students, I guess, believe. Yeah. So welcome to IMU Essential Workshop brought to you by IMU Industrial Partnership and Career Development Unit and in collaboration with Caliber Business Solutions in Berhad. So we are from Caliber Business Solutions and we are the trainer for today. Doreen and Najwa are now kind of, they're still in the meeting right now, so I asked us to proceed right now without waiting for them. So this is Essential Skills Workshop number 2, right? How many of you here have attended workshop number 1 back in 2 months ago? Any one of you? Yeah, for those that already attended, so you kind of know what's happening. And there are altogether 6 Essential Skills Workshop lined up for you all the way to October, right? So without further ado, I think I'll introduce Dr. Claire Kiao here. She has been in training for the past 18 years, a very dynamic speaker and trainer. And she is also an acclaimed strategist and marketer and been doing training all around other parts of the world as well, especially Malaysia, Singapore, Brunei, Dubai, Indonesia, and many other countries. So without further ado, I'll pass on to Dr. Claire Kiao for her to introduce herself. Is it okay? So please give yourself a big round of applause for Dr. Claire.
Woohoo! Yeah. Thank you very much, everybody. If you can hear me, type 1 on the chat so I know you are here. Because some of you are still combing your hair, I think, to switch on your video, because we'll be taking a picture also for remembrance, for your history book. One day when you look back and say, just like me wondering what did I do as an undergraduate. Okay, put a 1, type 1. We'll be using the chat a lot because we need to communicate now via virtual. Great. Let's get ready for exciting 2 hours together. Okay, let me share my screen. Okay, anytime if you cannot see my screen, you just have to unmute and let me know. Okay. Okay, before I move on to the ice breaking, you're now in people management. Just share a little bit on myself. I know it's a very long qualifications here, but a very quick, just a brief overview. A story that I want to share is I was actually born dyslexic. I couldn't read and write till I was 10. So meaning that my brain was wired very differently. And I went through a very tough time in my childhood where I got bullied. Why bullied? Because I was slow. And of course, those times, about 40 over years ago, it's not like today where it's so simple that you can identify someone who has a challenge in certain interpersonal skills or certain, skills that you can pick up and send for help. So I went through a very tough time, and my neurons in my brain, some of you here who are, I'm sure doctors here, I mean, while you learn about brain, right? So the moment my neurons in the brain start to connect, then only I started. It took me time, but I never gave up. And I believe that everyone has a great potential. I love training. I love what I do. And I can tell you that it's always learning. And especially today, this topic is one of the most exciting topics on people management. Actually, the moment we were born, we already started to manage. Not that we manage, but we have to negotiate, we have to communicate. And honestly, it was managing our friends, managing ourselves. So that's all about people management. So I want to hear your voices, so that I know, so that we can connect. And this will only take, let's not take too long, meaning that it could be 15 to 20 seconds only. Okay, I'm showing you this slide, very simple. Just tell your name quickly and where are you from. You can be from Batu Pahat, or you can say whatever, or you can say which faculty you're from. Okay, and do this. I always dreamt that someday I would manage people, ... So I want you to think about, so that you at least have an end in mind, your dream of what you learned today in these 2 hours that you can apply, right? So I'm sure you have thought about where you wish to work or what kind of teams you like to lead, or even business that you want to do. Okay, so I want you can feel free to write it down. You want to write it on the chat here also can, but you need to actually speak up because I want to hear your voice. And then the last one is the one thing I want to be remembered for is, that means it could be the one thing I want to be remembered for. For example, like if you want to make it simple, when you leave IMU, so you can be, the one thing I want to remember for is my smile. As simple as that. Okay, if you want to tell some story, you can, but not too long. Okay, the most I'll say is 30 seconds. Right, so let's do that. I'm going to give you 1 minute. 1 minute to just Yeah, all of you write down. Okay. And share from your heart. Okay, because this is the first thing I want you to start thinking about how someday you want to manage. Okay, it doesn't mean it has to be about work. Huh? It could be friends, it could be your future family, you know, when you get married or anything. It could be your association, yeah, your or even university, talking about your teachers, your classmates, anything. But it's all about what you dream. You want to talk about the company you wish to go, like Google, whatever, also you can say anything you want. Okay, 1 minute. Give you about 1 minute from now. Okay. Then I will call your name. Yeah. Some of you want to take this picture on your handphone, also you can, because after 1 minute, I will stop share the screen already. Okay. Right. I'm going to stop share in 10 seconds. Okay, 3 seconds. And I'm going to stop share. Okay, so kindly switch on your videos because I'll be calling those who didn't on the video. Okay, thank you very much, everyone. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. You see, it makes a lot of difference when there is visibility. You can see each other. Okay, let's enjoy ourselves. All right, I would like to start with Amirtha. You know, I'm so honored. We're so honored you were actually the first to on the video. I want to give you the honor of starting. Do you know why? Because after you have shared, you get to select the next person. You got a power in your hands now. Go over to you, Amirtha. Okay, you can unmute. Yeah.
Am I audible?
Yes, can hear you. Thank you.
My name is Amrita. I'm from IMU, and one day I would like to manage people from my life, basically. And I would want to be remembered for my authenticity and personality.
Wow. Very nice. Can you select the next person?
Colleen.
Colleen. Thank you for the authenticity.
Oh, wow.
Colleen.
I never thought I'm the next. Okay, so hi guys, my name is Colleen and I'm a second-year medical student. So basically, I have thought that one day, someday, I could manage people and probably lead them in order to give back to the society. And I'm glad that this dream has actually come true years ago, and I'm continuing the mission at the moment in IMU as well, since I'm the community service club president. So I think I can do more with that. So I would like to remember it for my contributions. Yep.
Thank you, Colleen. Okay. Can select the next person.
I don't think I know anyone here, so I'll just simply select one.
That's the whole idea.
Okay. Can I pick Jiasin?
Yeah.
Okay. Hi. I'm Jasmine. I'm from Penang. I've always dreamt that someday I would like to manage people in the way most appropriate to them. And the one thing that I want to recall is my consideration to other people's feelings.
Wow. That is very, very thoughtful. Huh? Thank you. Thank you, Jasin. Who's next, Jasin?
I'll select Yushane.
Hi, I am Yushane and I'm from KL, studying
Okay.
dietetics in IMU. I always dreamed that someday I would manage people effectively, all I could think of. And then the one thing I want to be remembered for is like through my contributions, like how I either could contribute to the company or like how I can help people. Yeah. So
Thank you.
I like to pick Kershin.
Christian.
Hi, I'm Kershin. So my name is Kershin and I'm from Johor, currently studying in MU. So I always dreamed that someday I would manage people in my life more appropriately. And the one thing that I want to be remembered for is that I could interact with people in an appropriate manner, depending on how close our relationships are and making more friends in my life.
Okay, thank you. All right, who's next, Shalene?
I think Junwei.
Hi, my name is Junwei. So I'm from KL. I'm a dietetics student as well. So I was dreaming that I could manage people's malnutrition by helping them in fighting their disease, like whenever they face difficulty in their diet or lifestyle. And then the one thing I want to be remembered for is my voices. Yeah, I hope that they will remember this friendly voice in helping them fighting for their difficulties.
Yeah, sure. You certainly have a very unique voice. Yeah, very good. Okay. Who's next? Junwei? You can select those without video. They will on their video when you call them.
I will select Fatin.
Hi everyone. My name is Fatin.
Fadini, can on your video, Fadini. Try.
Give me a moment, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, your voice is real. I mean, your name, you know, it's like a brand. Fadini. Yeah. So the rest of you, yeah, can on your videos because it's good opportunity. You get to know each other after this Zoom. You all can go and connect.
Yeah. By the way, if you want to manage people, right, you need to be able to show your face also, right?
Yes. Okay. Hi, Fadini. Yeah.
Okay, my name is Fatin and I'm from Negeri Sembilan. I always dream that someday I could manage the ways of people thinking so that I can try to accept what is their thought. And the one thing that I want to be remembered for is the way how productive I am so that I can also help. I also hope that people can be productive so that I'm not the one who lead the work. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, who's next, Fadini? Lim Wei Ling, you there? Lim Wei Ling.
Yeah, I'm there.
Hi. You're on your video?
What a moment, please.
Okay. I help you, Fadini. Yeah. Maybe. Okay.
Hello. Hi, my name is Wei Ling and I'm from IMU and TDM courses. I always dream that someday I could actually lead in a group or an event, helping to organize a successful event. So the one thing I want to remember is the happiness that I have give when I have actually helped in opening an event or some commitment work. Yeah.
Nice. Very good. Thank you, Wei Ling. Okay. So let me call, okay? How about Gan Yihang? Did I say correctly or Gan Yihong? How do I pronounce it? Sorry?
Yihang.
Okay.
Yihang.
Yes.
Hi everybody. My name is Gan Yihang. I'm a final year Chinese medicine student. I always dream that someday I'll manage people and lead people in an effective way. I want to give them a direction and keep the whole team progressing. And the one thing I want to be remembered for is my achievement and also my contribution to the society. Thank you.
Thank you. So looks like 1 year later, 2 years later, I can come and visit you all. One for nutrition, one for Chinese medicine. Huh? Wow, interesting.
You can visit now. I'm in the clinic, really.
Wow, okay. Thanks. All right, let's hear from, okay, is this Niwasini? You there?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Can.
Okay. My name is Nalashini. I'm from School of Health Sciences, currently doing medical biotechnology. And it was always my dream that one day I would manage and lead people in a research team at Harvard University. The one thing that I want to be remembered for is for my collaborative skills and also my personality. That's all. Thank you.
Did I hear you say manage the team in Harvard University? All right, because really it's suddenly my, they say the Bulu Roma suddenly is just like, wow, it's like, wow. It just stands up because that's an amazing dream, because yeah, Harvard is one of my dream university that, wow, the place, but fantastic. Okay, who else? Let's hear from Rachel. You there, Rachel? Rachel, wow, if I say it correctly, Rachel. Let's hear from Nur Fatin.
I already shared my thought just now.
Yes. Okay. Yes, yours, yes, Nur Fatin. How about Lee? Lee Richen. You were the first to wait for us since 1:30. Wow, all excited. So I want to know who you are. Lee, are you there?
Yeah, hi.
Hi.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, my name is Richard. So I'm from School of Pharmacy. I'm currently in year 3 in the same break. Yeah. So I always dream that someday I will manage people like that are comfortable with me. So the one thing I want to be remembered for is like the people who knows me even after they are not under my management. Yeah.
Remember you. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Stay on, your video, please stay on, because you're connecting with others here. All right. Pingni.
Hi, can you hear me?
Can.
Yeah, so my name is Pingni, and then I'm a year 3 dietetics with nutrition student.
Okay.
And I always dream that someday I'll be manage people in the way that they can learn and grow. And I want to be remembered for is how I have helped them and then my inspiration to them. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. How about Farah Saleh? Farah Saleh? If not, move on to Ui Ying.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm also a dietetics with nutrition student currently in my year 3. And the reason I am interested in this workshop is because for us as a dietitian to work in the future, we have to collab with different kind of health professionals. So I think that for effective people management in the company or maybe organization, it will actually help to guide all of us to ensure for a successful planning, all that, because we can see that how important is the communication and the organization between peoples and the workers in the organization. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much, Ui Ying. Okay, let's hear from Limi. Are you there, Limi?
Hi, I'm here.
Hi.
I'm also from dietetics with nutrition students. I'm from Glen, and I would like to be able to manage people from different backgrounds. And I would like to be remembered for maybe my ability to do things. Yeah.
Nice.
That's it.
Great. Okay. Who is whatever? E, starts with E, your name, I'm sure. Okay. Is Khan Faisal there? Dave?
Hi, hello.
Yeah, hi.
Hi, I'm
Okay.
Faisal.
Hi, Faisal.
Yeah, I'm currently on campus.
Okay.
Yeah, attending to some work. I'm from ME 120 and currently in drama club. And I just like to know more about managing people and leadership.
Okay. Thank you. Let's hear from Joshua. Are you there, Joshua? Natalie? Hi, Joshua.
I'm sorry, let me give you a moment to on my camera because I'm in campus.
Sure. I'm very grateful, even though you all are busy, still you come on to learn. That's a very good attitude. Yes. Thank you. Got to unmute, Joshua. Cannot hear you. Got to unmute. Okay.
My name is Joshua E, and I'm from ME 119, so I'm third year medical student, and I always dream that someday I will manage people by like organizing maybe some charity works or like event.
Okay.
The only thing that I want to be remembered for is my maybe like my humanitarian work.
Thank you. Okay. Are you there, Najwa? Najwa, are you there? Suchen?
Yes.
Najwa, hi. Okay, Najwa is there. How about Dave?
Oh yeah, okay, just give me a second, so my name is Dave Raj. I'm from ME 219, so I'm a second year medical student. I've always dreamed that someday I would manage people from all walks of life, meaning whether you're educated or not, whether you're poor or rich. I just want to basically mix and mingle with people. Then the one thing I always want to be remembered for is probably the events I have done, as well as the impact I have created, if I have created any impact. Yeah, pretty much that.
Great. Thank you. Okay, so who else who would like to just volunteer? Who might have missed out? Natalie Wong. Okay, I'll move on. Yeah. Thank you so much. By just listening to all of you, wow, it says so much of all of you. The words that you all use, yeah, giving inspiration, being remembered, and the one that I like is like most of you say, the way most appropriate to manage people, very considerate. Because honestly, if I like now have a chance to speak with the young generation, all of you here, yeah, will be to make a change in the way we are going to communicate. And there's this term I really, really love, and I really, really want to share this. I'm going to put it on this chat here. It's called equality versus equity. And if this was one thing that, besides what I'm going to share you later in our PowerPoint, if there's one thing that I believe that is so important is this word, because I come from a background where there wasn't much education and we treat everyone equal. The problem is that when I hear you all say words like, to appreciate, to have different people, all walks of life, different backgrounds, and especially all of you are doctors, aspiring doctors, you can make the difference in our world. And talking about even Harvard University, that's big dreams, and I applaud all of you. And what you're going to learn, in the next 1.5 hours with me, are things that you can use, I'm going to share with you even a personality profiling. I specially made this in an Excel. It's in soft copy and it will be given to you. It's a gift from us and you can use it in your teams. Immediately you will get a score. So I can teach you how to use this and you'll be able to understand different types of people. You'll be able to manage, and appreciate that people are not difficult, but they are just different. And the moment you can embrace this, wow, miracles will happen. Because when you start to judge, which quite a lot of, sometimes, because I'm in this industry for 18 years, so I know y'all are, I understand that, y'all are, some of you are still new yet to go on to work. So I'm going to just share with you. I mean, not that I'm giving you shortcuts, but because I've been through so much in my life in terms of managing myself, understanding people, and now I help a lot of companies manage people because 18 years I've been doing team building. I started off with playing games, creating games. I'm a gamification person. I have my PhD in entrepreneurology where I did a research on gamification because I love to play games. Yeah, I'm not very good at studies, but I play games because when you say how do we gamify things, okay? So I learned powerful tools and techniques just about 3 years back, the techniques to manage teams. Okay, I used to think, okay, I make game, I let people play, they are so happy, then I thought problem solved. But it's not that simple. And what we need is things like powerful conversation, meaningful conversations. People have conflicts, So I have got slides for all of you, but I will not be like reading slide. I will be sharing slides for you all to spend more time to read, because I know the new generation today, you can easily just Google people management and you can, watch podcasts. Listen to podcasts, watch video, and you get all the ideas in. But but based on what you share, okay, I always take on what you need to learn, and then I actually try my best to customize so that you can apply it immediately. And in fact, I know some of you are already in associations, so you also manage teams. Okay, let me go. Feel free anytime you want to ask questions, just put on the chat. Oh yes, and it's equality versus equity. It's because there's this word, right? Inclusion now. We'll talk about diversity and inclusion. It's very, very new to Malaysia, but you all can make a difference because as doctors, you can talk about psychological part. Yeah, I can also specially say this because I have a son who is autistic. So I also tell people, hey, please do not judge. Okay, we always tend to say that, okay, we only want to have a team that are full of people who are very high in emotional intelligence. High EQ, we only want the high EQ people, or we only want the high IQ people. Yeah, so I will share that it's not about high EQ because different people are wired differently. And if you're going to manage teams effectively, 20% of the population, if you look in the WHO, are in this category where they are, not fully capable, meaning that they could be we call this Malaysia, they call it OKU lah, orang kurang or orang kelainan upaya, but we always say they are differently abled. Now we say differently abled, not more disabled, the differently abled people. So I would, these are teams that eventually may join you, and I hope you can embrace them and manage and make a difference. Okay, moving on. Thank you for your eyes, all of you so attentive in the ice breaking, appreciate it. Okay, you all mentioned the word training. Some of you want to lead, want to motivate. So this is about a team. So people management is managing a team. And why do we do it? Why we want to manage all this? Because you want to optimize. I hear the word effectively, efficiently, and it's about productivity and performance. Yeah, if you can manage, then you want to increase productivity and performance. Why productivity? Then we can work better. We can get more things done in lesser time because the trend also is moving to this rule called 80-20. Okay, you have a chance as I'm speaking, you want to write down notes, go ahead. And you can Google and find out more, right? Talk about managing your time. where if you sometimes you take care of the 20% of your time, focus on it, and that will be giving you 80% of your success. So it's not about the quantity, but it's the quality of what you put in. Yeah, so you want to take note. It's just like we say in business, okay, when you go into business next time, 20% of our clients, let's say we have 100, out of 100, 20 of these clients will bring us 80% of the profitability, or you can actually see the real performance from there. Okay, now if I don't read the chat and it's something important, just shout out, yeah, because I'm actually going through the slides, and I may take on your questions later. So most of you, many of you, you want to be workplace leaders, you want to be doctors, I hear associations, I hear a lot of charitable plans that you want to do, and I salute all of you. Fantastic. Taking care of an NGO, managing NGO, and managing a corporate also is very different. Okay, yeah, but it's interesting to learn about that. It's also still managing people. So these are a lot of words. I won't be reading all, but basically we want to say that people management is critical. That's why you all are here. That's why it's part of the skills, it's part of the syllabus. And I'm going to share you some latest thinking in people management. Okay, of course, I mean, it's a short time, but I will share you some ideas and you can continue. Perhaps one fine day, we may be given the opportunity. You can contact us, Caliber Business Solutions, so we can spend more time to work on certain tools and techniques, because one tool can take 1 to 2 hours to practice. Okay. Learning objectives, basically, we're going to talk about the 4 pillars of emotional engagement, 4 areas, and then and I will share with you the personality profiling, the DISC, where you will do an assessment. I hope you all have Excel, Microsoft Excel. In the event that you don't have, it's okay, you can download and you can do it later, because I want to do it with you all straight away and get the result, and when we understand one another. Okay. Now this word emotional intelligence, like I mentioned, is a very big thing. Every corporate is talking about EI. Yes. Yeah.
Sorry for a while. Maybe can you put your mic a little bit further, because there's a lot of hissing, the sound from the breath. Yeah.
Okay, I take it out, huh? Clear now?
Better. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Okay, emotional intelligence describes the ability, capacity, skill, perceive. It's not just about, some people think that, I used to think, honestly, emotional intelligence is about being nice to people, but it's more than that. Yeah, you will learn that it involves few other areas, few other pillars that we're going to go through today. Here, the 4 pillars of emotional intelligence. Firstly, self-awareness. Self-awareness is one of the most powerful thing. And you could do this sometimes by even asking your friends about yourself, because sometimes you have blind spots, we cannot see what we are, what we do. And especially when we are young, we don't really know. I remember when I was an undergraduate, I had the privilege of being in Curtin in Perth, and I was in Australia, and it's I was fortunate to have a group of Malaysian students. So we actually have this powerful conversation and talk about each other where we had blind spots, because we come from different homes, different backgrounds, different cultures. Suddenly we come to a country, come to a new place. And so self-awareness is being aware. Otherwise, we send it shock. We think that we are doing the right thing and we may get on people's nerves, So that's about managing yourself, managing people. So there's self-management or self-regulation. Social awareness, we are all in society. This is important. And finally, relationship management. Okay, so that's about self-awareness. Self-awareness, mindfulness, this word mindfulness come in is, I learned about having to take time, if you can, early in the morning when you wake up, instead of just reaching out to the phone or, just start the day, but to get up and be aware. There's this mantra I have during the COVID that I want to put in place. It's called be 1% better today than yesterday. So to be self-aware that I need to improve. Okay, so this one is something that you want. If you say you want to, just now you talk about your dream. You dream that one day you will go to Harvard and lead a team. Now, if you want to get a kind of dream, be consciously thinking every day, what is the one thing I can do better? Very powerful, huh? 1% only. Don't think 1% is small. 1%, you put 1 year is 365%. If you keep doing this every day, you will, wow, you can actually see yourself improving so much. It could be as simple as reading a book. One book that you read is by a person who is specialized in that book and a specialist with like more than maybe 10 years experience or 20 years. And you just read the book, you pick up and you learn. You know, you suddenly, I love this thing about neurons because myself, that's how I became from stupid to smart, by actually exposure, by actually putting up my hands and say, yes, boss, I want to do it. Even if I don't want to do, I just do. And never be afraid to fail, because failure is the best way to learn. If you don't like the word failure, then we say results, different results. If you get different results, there's Thomas Edison. I always hear the story. People ask him, oh my goodness, how did you continue? I mean, you actually failed like what, almost 1,000 times. And he says, no, I didn't fail. I just learned 9,999 different ways not to do. If I never try and keep trying, I never get what I want. So that's why. So sometimes I remember that that's my anchoring, because I do something I didn't get. Second thing I don't get. I strategize, I plan, I don't get the result. Don't give up. It's just about tweaking and tweaking and tweaking. Because another point I share with you, you're a young generation. Huh? In the next 10 years, now it's 2021, in the next 10 years, 40% will be unknown. It's right now going to be unknown, meaning that 40% of the future work, of the future needs are yet to be created. Now, this is very powerful. Our textbooks don't share about it. Now, imagine in my time, when I studied, it was 20 over years ago. That time when I studied IT was just a part of a program, part of my whole degree. I came out, even within a year, it became obsolete. Now, what about now? You may even be studying something that may be even obsolete, but it is part of the syllabus, for example. So what I'm saying is just take the opportunity to be aware that you have the potential to create. Now, I love this co-creation because I'm into gamification, and I actually love this part that our brain is actually designed to be creative. And the more you do, you got to practice more. The more you do, the better you get at it. So be in your skill. There's this thing called hard skill and soft skill. So hard skill is something, a lot of techniques, especially if you're a doctor, you learn. If you're learning psychology, you learn the hard skill part about your work, your kind of work. But the soft skills are all this, I believe, that we are rolling out for you right now, because it is not really taught in your university, but these are the soft skills that you need. All of it is about communication and managing people, because you want to lead a team. It is how to take out your hard skill from your hard skill. How do you bring it out to your soft skill? Okay, so this self-awareness. Self-regulation. Okay, when you go out to the marketplace or you start to lead, you need to be conscious of yourself. Self-control. Yeah, because even today, I'm actually doing a team building right now in Genting. I'm in Genting, and you have people who are in their 30s and 40s, and they still have issues like, you know, they tell me, Claire, I cannot manage my emotion. It's been a habit. I disrupt, I erupt, and I can't manage the young generation. Yeah? So these are the things. So self-regulation is another one which is very powerful. It's this thing called relanguaging. From Nojo to Mojo. Feel free to Google this book called MOJO. Mojo is a positive spirit. It's a positive kind of a relanguaging. Like, it's like when you wake up in the morning, if you say, oh, what a boring day, what a terrible day. Oh no, it's Monday again. Oh gosh, I got to go back to school. I got to do this, I got to do that. So that's all. It may be just words, but actually it just makes you, once you have this negativity, it will attract, it will just may give you a lousy day. But if you relanguage, meaning, oh, it's a good day today, even though it's a lot of work, right? It's going to be an amazing day because I know how to manage my time. So change the way you say things. Shift is another approach. I actually created this program called Shift. First, you have to sustain. Sustain, because we're talking about the last 1 year, all of us went through the toughest time in history. We have no precedent about it. We've never experienced it. We have to sustain ourselves. You have to sustain. So you are very lucky in a way because you see it at this stage, you learn and you know what to avoid in a way. Now, those of us who are maybe in business, those who have invested in retail outlets, or a lot of them overnight, they close shops or they lost all their savings, because it's totally a disruption. But then again, now we are moving to the new era. Every era, things change. Yeah. So you are actually coming inside into the new era. So think about your sustain. Think about the help that you need. The new generation here, I'm also teaching about how do you ask for help. There's no way you can work alone. You need to collaborate. So that's why managing people, you may be the boss, you may be the leader, but if you know how to find a way to collaborate with people, how do you hear the voices? Just one of you say you want to be known as the one who gives the voices. Yeah, so if you get the voices of everyone from irrespective of levels, it's very, very powerful. You can get a lot of answers because everyone comes in with different perspectives. Imagination is the most powerful. Never stop imagining because that's the dream you need to have. That's the one that I'm telling you, you can go and Google. Some say 30%, some say 40% that is unknown. That's why a lot of jobs are going to be irrelevant already, a lot of jobs. So you need to imagine the new things, and futuristic, you need to really think of the future. You need to visualize the future, what you wish to see, what you wish to bring your strength in to help. If you want to really help humanity, how can you create something, a platform where you can give people more jobs? Because now, I think around 2 million have lost their jobs easily, or it could be more, and it's getting worse. I'm not trying to bring bad news, I'm bringing realistic news, and who else can help but you guys, the young generation, come in and think beyond, okay? And tenacity is my favorite. Tenacity is about having that drive, never give up drive, okay? You are all high caliber. You will come up with a brand. You will come up with, when you have the brand doctor behind your name, just remember not to let the ego overtake you, because at the end of the day, it's all about minimalism. That's the trend that's moving, right? Minimalism and simplicity. Okay, and that will help you to reach out to more people, and you can really grow your team. Yeah. So this is my advice, especially to managing, because you are going to be the highest level. But it's like we learn in neuro-linguistic programming. The only way to connect with people is to what? Be at their level, go to their level. Parent, adult, child. If you're dealing with children, that's where we bend down, we talk to them like kids. Hey, hello, we talk to them like kids, chat with them. If it's adult, go to their level. If it's senior citizen, we go to their level. Yeah? So it's that synergy, yeah, the connectivity. Okay, I'm going to go next. Okay, social awareness. This is about development of good interpersonal skills. Everyone is talking about this. The EI, emotional intelligence. Okay, but take notes. Also be socially aware that there are some people who are wired differently. Like I was saying, like my son who is autistic. Initially, I didn't understand why. I could never bring him out because he refused to enter to any place, any restaurant, even my sister's house, because their brain is just, they see things differently. They don't see things that we see. They listen, their ears are maybe a bit, the sensitivity is a bit high. So it's all too much for them. It's too overwhelming for them. Now, do we blame them? So if a normal person will see them, they will say, oh my gosh, this person cannot fit into our society. But the question is, it's not about whether they can fit into our society. It's about whether we are aware that there are people around us who are just built this way. But if we begin to appreciate and understand their strength, okay, they can solve challenges and problems. I know of some organizations that bring these adults in who are wired differently, who have low EQ, but they are problem solvers in 30 minutes, whereas the other staff take about a few days. So they tell me, Claire, during some of my programs, they say, this guy here, he's not going to talk to you. He's just all very isolated. Don't mind him, but he's one of our best workers.
And I was happy to hear that. I said, that's great, because you are aware. We are aware of everyone's strengths and their weaknesses. The thing is that we could look at their weaknesses very well, very clearly, but even ourselves, we also have our weaknesses, right? So it's a blend over here, okay? And some of the useful skills in social awareness, like influence. Now, another thing that I learned is everybody wants to influence. Everybody wants to be able to sell ice to Eskimo. I mean, not everybody wants, but it would be great if we can negotiate and win the deal, right? So it's a skill. No one is born like, okay, like all of us, I always say, any one of you born with clothes into this world? No, all of us are born without anything. We came to this world, but all of us brought from different homes. We come from different homes. We have different mentalities. Now, this is important. This is something I learned. Because as a trainer, I used to think that everything is common sense. Like, I'm going to give you a raise, increase your income. Why don't you want to accept? Because different people come from different areas, different mentalities, different backgrounds, different needs, different wants. Sometimes they don't even need your promotion. They're just happy where they are. They don't need to improve. Okay, so what do you want to be? So I believe that all of you here just want to be 1% better. I'm sure as I listen to you, what you dream to lead. Okay. So communication is so critical. One of you mentioned, I think a few of you mentioned communication. Now, communication is a skill. I actually have one of the worst communication and I have to pick up. I have to read books. I have to read Dale Carnegie. How to win friends and influence people. I got to Google and learn. I learned DISC. The more I teach, the more I remember, the more I learn. The more I learn to adapt myself. It's okay. So it's okay if some of you here feel that, hey, I'm not very good at, I'm shy, or I find it difficult to communicate, because all of us are wired differently. Our thinking patterns are different. Yeah. Okay, so you want to be a catalyst in what you do. You want to be the first in what you do. You want to have dreams because you learned something and you can change, not say change Malaysia, but bring us all to a different level. Okay, you want to be the catalyst, pemangkin, catalyst. Collaboration and cooperation is the way to go nowadays, because you cannot be, you study something, you think that, wow, that's all I need. But then certain times, actually, if you collaborate, you can even do more. 1 + 1 is not 2, actually 1 + 1 is, we call it infinity. One person can carry 10 kilograms, 2 persons, it's not 20 kilograms. It's very powerful, they can carry more than 20 kilograms. So it's been proven of collaboration, and you can have many, many collaborations. Okay, it doesn't mean that you need to start up and open a company and then you are stuck with one for the rest of your life. So this is the trend now. I hear and I see what is moving, what is really working. Yeah, building bonds, powerful, trust. Trust is very important. And how do you build trust? It takes time. It's not overnight. So you need to farm. We say farm our friendship. Yeah. So now, I think one of the things that I regretted was that I didn't keep a record of all my contacts in the university. And there was, it will be the best time of your life, trust me. Because unless, of course, even you're going back to study when you are 40 and 50 years old, it is different. Okay, because at this journey of your life, I think most of you are still single, perhaps, yeah. So you are very focused in what you do. You are focusing on going to a new association. Some of you are presidents of certain club. You can lead. It's very exciting. Okay. And then team capabilities. I love team. If I had to choose one thing I want to do for the rest of my life, will be about teams. TEAM. I'm a team expert. I love teams. I love to bring teams from a problematic team to a high-performing team. Okay, so teams evolve. We can be forming, we can be just a new team. You just joined at university, you just started an association forming. Then you have storming. Storming is where we get to know each other. Then we realize that we are all different suddenly. Initially, when we interviewed, everyone was good. Then suddenly, you have different ideas and all. There's a storming that comes in. So after storming, you want to norming. Norming is to normalize things, to have rules in place. Okay. Then after we norm, we can have them performing. So again, teams is a cycle. So I love this. I've been spending many years learning tools to move to more higher performing team. So relationship management. Yeah, you got to manage relationships. Yeah? Not just simple as make friends. I'm privileged to be in this association called Business Network International. If you ever want to find out more, you can always type this thing called BNI. There are almost 300,000 members from 70 over countries. Okay, I'm one of the leadership team. To take care of the chapter, and I am learning so much. I'm so used to corporate culture. Okay? Corporate culture is honestly simpler because we work with the CEO, the management, we work with certain techniques, we mix scoreboards, do this, do that, follow. But when you're working in an NGO or when you're in an association where everyone comes in voluntarily, managing relationships, managing teams are totally different. You cannot you think you've got this idea of scoreboard. Okay, everyone, we want to expand, we want to increase. All of you do this, because why? Different people have different ideas. They come from different. They all have their businesses. They come in. So again, I'm learning this. You see, at my age, I'm in my 40s right now, and I am learning, still learning. So it's never changing, and it's always evolving, because again, you have different generations. I remember when I first started my career in training, I was my early 30s, and most of my participants were 40s and 50s. Today is different. I feel suddenly, oh, wow, all my participants are mostly 20s, very few 30s. And 50% of the population, 50%, who will be coming in are all your age. They're coming in 50%. So what happens? So sometimes when some CEO bosses call me and say, hey, Claire, I need your help. These young people, blah, 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 blah. So I say, hey, boss, let me tell you this. I think it's you who need to change, because they are coming, they are just going to take over. And look at their strengths. So much strengths. Okay? Because now the world is flat. Anything that you want to learn is just a click of a button. And no need any more bureaucracy like last time. Just to see one managing director, we have to meet 2 secretaries, wait don't know how many months. Wow, how inefficient. Nowadays, we can just go LinkedIn, talk to the fella, talk to the person, communicate directly, get a handphone number, just WhatsApp, because we have no fear of this position anymore, because things are changing. We say the world is flat, organizations are beginning also to be flat and get more things done, more empowerment, more commitment, more engagement. So now we are talking about shared leadership. Shared leadership is, imagine if one day you have a team, okay, and everyone gets to be a leader instead of always you. We are waiting for you to come and to lead. So if you're not around, people can continue to have meetings. Yeah. So everyone, someone can be the note taker. It's like the minutes of last time. They always said the secretary will be the minute writer. Why must it always be the same secretary? Poor thing. And why must it take? Why must you type so long? Yeah. You can immediately do it there. And then there's a timekeeper, because instead of going round and round and round, people are complaining why are meetings so long. So you manage. Again, there are tools. Feel free. You can Google. You can Google and learn different ways to manage your relationships. Okay. I want to share with you action, reflection, learning. These are patented tools. If I share with you, you can feel free to use it. Format learning style system. Now, we have this saying that there are some people preferred learning style. They call it the VAK, visual, auditory, kinesthetic. So visual are people who loves to see things. Like for me, I love to draw. So when I coach, or when I was younger, when I used to study, I actually draw, and I use a lot of colors, and I paste them on a wall so that I can see. The moment I see, I capture already. I can remember. So I'm a visual person. Auditory, people who loves to listen. I've got friends who just like to record her voice, record the lecturer's voice, and just play. Auditory, and they can sleep with it, and they can memorize things. And then with kinesthetic, they want to experience it. They need to feel, they need to touch, they need to do it. They need to so doing means they need to teach it, for example, then they can remember. So that's VAK. Here I want to share with you this very powerful system. It's called the format. Why, what, how, so what. Okay. Meaning that in future, even right now, if you're ever going to do a, let's say a meeting, okay, you have a, you know, sometimes we write, okay, this is the agenda of the meeting. Why don't you try this way? Start with, maybe you can start with what? What is this meeting about? Okay, what we are saying is that the people all have different learning styles, the format. So what? So I actually use this what. This meeting is about our preparation for Hari Raya, which is going to happen in 1 month's time, blah, 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 what? Then why? Why are we doing this? Okay, we're doing this to foster more unity, more friendship. You know, there's a need for this. Why are we doing this? Why? How? How are we doing it? Okay, we're going to collect 50 ringgit from everybody. Then we're going to have a party. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. Blah, 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 blah. You do the how is there, the action plans. So what? Doing this for what? So what? After we do this, what happened? From here, we will all have the connection. We'll have the network. We'll have the collaboration, blah, 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 blah. Now, this will attract all kinds of people, right? Because a person who is a how person, if you're just writing agenda, we're going to have a Hari Raya party, blah, 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 agenda. It doesn't connect with some people who are the why. I'm a why person. Just tell me why I need to do it. Why? Then I will fly and do it. Some people are the what is it about? They want to know what is it, what is it? You don't just tell me how to do. What is it this about? What is this about? Yeah. I find this very useful because also I'm teaching you, I'm sharing with you this about questions. In a conversation, when you want to manage a conversation, don't be, because when we just use sentences, we do have assumptions, you see. But when we use questions, we are drawing out how they think. For example, someone says something like, well, you're very lucky. You're already a final year student in the Chinese medical line. You are so lucky. You can say, what makes you say that? Or why do you say that? Okay. If you don't ask that question, you just say, no, I'm not lucky. You don't know, it's very tough. So you see that conversation may not go anywhere. But when you ask the question, what makes you say that? And then the person may say, oh, because I used to have my grandfather who used to be a sincere, blah, 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 blah. Then you start a conversation, you start to explore, and you build a relationship. So I learned about this. In fact, they say ask a question with a question. This is very powerful. Someone asks you a question, you can even ask back. Use the same word and ask back the question. You can Google all this and learn. Now, these are skills of communication and skill of writing your proposal. I've used this and it's just so powerful. And I can actually get more things done. I actually can connect to more people when I use this. So this is my tip for you. All right, if you go online, you can also find this. Even though I studied this and I thought it was patented, but basically, instead of going for the majority wins, sometimes people say, okay, every Monday in IMU, we want to have 8 a.m. All of us want to do aerobic class. So there are 20 of us. Put up your hands, who's interested? And 11 people put up the hand, 11 people out of 20. So they say, okay, all of you must come because majority says it's aerobic class. Maybe those days you can do like that. But now if you do like this, what happens? People they shut off. They're not happy. So I learned about FIS 5. Basically, this is a process that you can use. And FIS is, like punching. So if I ask that question, the same question, let's say to all of you, to this 20 people, and someone puts 1, for example. Let's say I say, okay, we're going to have aerobic at 8 o'clock every Monday. Someone puts a 1. 1 means what? I don't like it, but I won't block it. So I'll ask the person, may I know why you don't like it? Why you put a 1? And the person may say, I love to exercise, but I don't like aerobics because aerobics make me sprain my leg the last time. But if you could do like Zumba, I may consider, okay, so suddenly we got a comment there. Then another person puts a 2. Because if it's a FIS 1 and 2, we actually ask them, how do we move to a 3? 3 is that, wow, the decision is good, I'll get involved. So we want to listen. So the person say, oh, I'm not excited because I only love badminton. I don't enjoy this. Who likes aerobics? So then we begin to ask the question. So are you saying that you will take part if you do something related to sports. Then maybe we got this idea that, hey, we should do it every Monday, but we give opportunity for different kinds of sports. So I've used this Fist 5 and it has helped me a lot. Now, imagine now if you have the 9 people who say no, suddenly you begin to understand their needs. And when you listen to people, they are happy that you listen to them, they will be involved. Then they feel what? They feel engaged and they'll be committed. So this is one way you can use to get involvement. Okay, this is one tip for you. This is something, this is got to do with managing. You want to manage. Now we need tools to manage people. If you don't have tools, it's all talking, it's not going to work. Because why? You have a room of different people, different ideas, and without a tool, without a process, how do you get everyone to agree? It's not by talking. You need something like you have this thing called, when there's a conflict. I learned this when there's a conflict because I don't like you, you don't like my face, we had a big fight and then now we cannot move on. So there's this thing called reflection and dialogue. You see a process again, and then there are rules to it. So all these things, you can find online, you can learn, you can pick up. Now, these are not in textbooks. Textbooks don't teach us all this because these are true real life experiences that a lot of people have created. So even you can also later on create, because as the trend moves on, people will think differently. It's faster. You want things faster. Maybe you don't like Fist 5, you create something else. No problem. Okay. This is my favorite. I'm going to do this with you all. It's called a stop reflect. So what is a stop reflect? Stop reflect is to get everyone's voice in the room. Okay. Instead of sometimes I used to do this, I remember even in university, like, okay, teacher give us an assignment. Okay, divide into group. Okay, five groups. Yeah. All right. Go and brainstorm. I give you guys 30 minutes to brainstorm. Now, what normally happen? I remember I am a very quiet person. And normally the loud speaker don't talk a lot, talk everything. Talk everything, manipulate, and then we'll give all the ideas, and then we'll say, finish, teacher, finish, teacher, finish, everything done. And he will go up there, he or she will go up there and present. And actually all was said by 1 or 2 persons only. But this is so common because it's very sad because the ones who are quiet, they don't have a chance to speak up. So now I share with you one technique that everybody has a chance. And then the best part is, irrespective of their level and their position, they feel safe to share. Okay? So it's a process where we invite everyone. If it's physical, that means not online. We actually have post-it. The post-it paper? The pink color, yellow color one, yeah. You give everyone one piece. You share a question. For example, you can share, how do we move on? What should we do after we graduate, all of us from IMU? What can we do together? Then you say, let's take 2 minutes to think. I want you all to write on the chat. I want you all to write on the paper, 2 minutes. Now in 2 minutes, everyone at the same time is writing their idea. Okay, so you imagine it's the most quiet person who always don't get to talk is writing the idea. Okay, or the one, if it's in a company, the clerk or the frontliner is not competing with the senior manager in the room. They're all having the same time, given the same time to write their ideas down on this piece of paper. And after 2 minutes, if there's no time, the boss or the leader, whoever, will just collect all the post-its, get us all, or get everyone to read what is on their post-it. Now, if we do that, if there are 20 people, we would have known, wow, out of these 20 ideas, 10 of them are from the same idea. And you are very sure that they didn't copy one another. Why? Because they all wrote at the same time. So these are things you want to collect. You want to know how they think. Yeah, you want to get what is important to them. So I really love this idea, and I've also used this to help meetings that are not going anywhere. Sometimes you go for an association meeting, it's supposed to be 1 hour, but then it drags on 1.5 hours, 2 hours, 2.5 hours, and time is very, very precious. By right, our meetings should be 20 to 30 minutes. You can actually finish the meeting if everyone has prepared and stick to their what they have to say. So I've been trained. It's like 2 minutes to think, 1 minute. After 2 minutes, you write, and then I'll press enter. Maximum 1 minute to share. And in 1 minute, you still want to talk some more. Okay. We ask you to wait, and then later you can put your questions in. Like it's like someone say something. You see, when someone says something in a meeting, another person wants to say, the fellow can talk 10 minutes, 20 minutes. Then another person talk in also 20 minutes. It become like what? No, it become like they started to talk and talk and talk and talk. But is it necessary? You know? So the power is we use a lot of post-its, and if it goes nowhere, we say let's do a stop, reflect, everybody. So you are managing your team. Okay, you can use this in an informal session with your friends, just chit-chatting. You have a recess time of 30 minutes, you need to get something done, project work done. But then somebody is, very long-winded, go on and on and on. Now, this is where you need to say, hey, let's do a stop, reflect, come back, please come back to the question. 2 minutes, think, right, then talk. Very powerful. So I'm going to do this in the chat room. I'm going to do a stop, reflect with all of you. Okay, so what challenges am I facing with my team in people management? So I want you to, if you tell me, Claire, I'm not in any team right now. Okay, it doesn't matter. I want you to tell me what challenges are you facing in any issues in people management. Okay, I'm going to give you 2 minutes to think. Listen up, I'm going to give you 2 minutes to think, and then you are going to write. You're going to write on the chat right now as you think what are the challenges you face, but don't press enter until I tell you so after 2 minutes. Okay, so now can y'all go to the chat, all of you individually? I want you to think about the challenges that you're facing in people management. For example, you could put things like, I'm hot-tempered, so I cannot manage. Or you could, anything. 2 minutes starting from now. All of you at the same time, think for 2 minutes and start typing it, but don't press enter yet. Okay, start now. Okay, there's no limit to what you can write. It's okay. You got another 1 more minute. We are now demonstrating stop, reflect via online because we are all moving to this new era. So how do we get the ideas from everyone, and how do we manage the ideas? Okay, just type, every one of you. You got 30 more seconds. What are the challenges that you face in people management? Okay, 15 more seconds. Get ready. Okay. And now, can you all press enter? Very good. Press. Very good. Amazing. Okay. Let's just go through. All right. I'm just going to see. Amazing. Okay. Ming Yi says full commitment of the members. Yeah. Chang Jia Chen, I'm too indecisive sometimes and can't lead the team effectively. Okay, good. See, you're saying out. Lin Mi, not everybody wants to engage and give commitment. Correct. So the question is, yes, now I'm teaching you this tool. You can use this. You see, everyone in their own space, they can give because they are given a post-it. If it's physical, it's easier. Everyone has to say something. Amitra, I tend to get really awkward around new faces. So Amitra, you may want to go and look on NLP, you know how you put Mickey Mouse faces or put a familiar face on awkward faces so that you won't feel out of place. These are also some techniques you can learn. Dave, they need to be perfect in certain aspects that has no significance to creating an impact. Wow. All right. So that's something now. This is very interesting because you have become very self-aware, okay, which is good. Yeah. So later, Dave will be doing a DISC and you will learn about your characteristic. And you could be in a category of very a perfectionist, and don't blame yourself because that could be your default. That could be what you are best wired in. Yeah. But the fact that you know that it has no significance to creating impact, then that's what you think. But maybe you can tweak it or use it somewhere else. Yeah. Just in getting everyone to speak up their ideas. That's right. People are very shy. So you can use this technique. How to get the team to be fully engaged, how to influence the team in a deeper way. Yeah. So it's not overnight. Okay, like I mentioned, trust takes time to build, but again, there are ways. Like I was with this team for 3 days and 2 nights. We had a session sharing a love letter to our mother. Yesterday, we spent 2 hours. Everyone was crying their hearts out. But after that, the bonding and the trust was there, and it just opened up a new level and deeper level. So there are many ways to do this. Okay. Okay, Niwa Sydney said communication in this virtual era, it is quite hard to obtain responses in a team. Late replies to text messages, slow internet connection during live virtual classes. Yes. Now, if we have no choice and if we have to get used to this, let me tell you another thing, the good thing that I see with Zoom or online. No one can run away because all of us, all of you are in this square box here. Do you know that in physical, you know, you can walk, you don't like something, you can walk away. I know, of course, you can off your video and all those things, but the thing is, you know, everyone is there. So I have learned to look at the positive part of it. But yes, it's true. You're right. It's just like if I would do team building virtual, it's really different. Nothing like face-to-face. But if we have no choice, then we can use certain engagement things. You can go on Quiznet now, a lot of Jambots, a lot of free tools on the internet you can explore. Yeah, I want to done it. Nur Fatin, I want to done it earlier, but my teammates take their own sweet time, make me stress. It might be my problem also, as the due date is still far. So Fatin, we talk about alignment here. Alignment means have this conversation. Hey guys, this whole thing is due in 3 months, right? Then you can talk about yourself. Like for me, you know, each of you get to share something. Like you say, okay, let's all take 2 minutes to write down what are our expectations of this project. So you take 2 minutes, everyone write down. Then everyone takes turn. Okay, so that someone say, okay, actually, project work, it should all be done equally. Someone say this, yeah, and then it's not fair if someone do all the work. Then we all share the marks, for example. Then another person say, I don't like to do project. In fact, I don't mind paying you guys to do the project. Okay, so you have the voices. Listen to the voices so you know you don't get stressed out. So you know how to manage all the emotions and how to manage the team. Now, this is also what we call norms. Norms will be you state what are the things you want, how you want to run things. Yeah, it's like, okay, guys, I know it's 3 months away, but we need to do this early. So you can have a plan. So have a conversation about it. Common sense is not common practice. People think, common sense now, you start now, finish early, can rest. But some people don't think that way. Okay, Fatima said, I like the confidence to assert myself and my opinions, causing me to be easily swayed. Okay, so Fatima, later when you do the DISC, there's this thing called D, and you will see your score, and if it's something that you're lacking, if your score is 0, 1, 2, later you'll know, you can work on it. You can go on your own time, go to Google and learn how do I increase my assertiveness. Like for me, it was how do I increase to be friendlier, to always smile, because I wasn't wired to be like, ask people, hello, hi, have you had your lunch? How are you today? How's your father, mother, brother? I know I wasn't used to that, and I actually had to learn, okay? Then you have Wu Ying. Wu Ying said, when all members participated actively to input ideas on how we are going to do certain projects, it is challenging to finalize an outcome when everyone's idea is great, but impossible to get involved of all. Yeah. So it is not impossible, it's not impossible when everyone is given a piece of paper, and all members are given a piece of paper and they have to write something. Because nobody, I've never experienced where people will say, I got nothing to write. You just tell them this one sentence is so good, one word also good, is enough. It starts there slowly. Okay. Farah, people are not interested. They don't even want to try the sport. It's okay. People are different. You will learn this. Yeah. So they are not interested because everyone has their to understand. That's why the first thing is to embrace that people are not difficult. They are just different. To embrace, for me, what helps me a lot is people are all wired differently. Then only I can be a great leader. Otherwise, I'll be stressed out. I'll be raising my voice because my style is that I want it fast. I want it now. Very gung-ho. So you want to do things early, but not everyone may align with you. So how do you, not that you lower your standards, but how you manage, how do you compromise the situation, okay? Sherlyn said, my team has a problem with gathering ideas from my team. Members, as most of them keep quiet, yes. So try using paper. And you can do this in the beginning. You have norms. Okay, we are an association. Now we're going to have norms. Norms are the ways we are going to all work together. So you get everyone to create a norm, for example. For example, one of the norms is we will always share ideas. We will not laugh at each other. So everybody can create norms. Then you use FIS 5. You want to take the top 5 norms or top 8 norms. Then you put up there. You are doing this differently now, meaning that instead of you telling them that, hey, you all must take part. So you have things like, okay, we will always participate in the meetings. That's one norm. So if somebody don't participate, then you all can nicely say, this is a norm here. This avoids conflict. So I do this in all this, especially in NGO. So you want to set a right culture. You say that we will only talk positive things in this chat room. So if someone talks negative, we can say, reminder, negative, relanguage it, be positive. That means we don't condemn people on the chat. Yeah. So you need to set certain norms. Okay, rules. Just like when you go to school, there are rules in IMU, so there are rules. You must punctual, you must pass a certain amount to get your cert, blah, blah, blah. These are all norms. If there are no norms and rules, we will break them easily and conflicts can happen. People will complain and fight and everything. So same as communication. So I'm a trainer. Before I begin a real physical program, I will set the rules all down. Okay, if you are late 1 minute, you are being fined. This pointer system, gamify. I gamify the whole thing by using norms. You can do that. All right. Yeah, you can't please everyone. So, lack active participation. Now, this don't feel bad, It's everywhere. Okay, because people are all different. And sometimes it could be a language barrier also. You need to check that out. Because it's a confidence issue or self-esteem. So you must understand where they're coming from, understand their situation, help them out. And Li-Ching is what? Everyone in the team has their shortcomings, own pace, yes. Lack response, right? It's hard to say no when people assign things to you, even not my job. Yeah, that's a good attitude. Hard to say no. So I just learned recently from Warren Buffett, one of the richest men in the world. He said the best thing you want to learn is to learn to say no. Because then you're very sure of what you want to do and you don't waste your time. So it's hard to say no. It's also because it could be your characteristic. You're a very nice person. You don't want to offend people. It's hard, so you rather do it and please people. Again, that's your character. But what happens is that you need to manage it because if it's too often, people can manipulate you and you can be stressed out. Yeah, so remember you are in control. So these are things you will begin to self-regulate. Yeah, you will begin to self-aware. before you want to manage people, you have to start with yourself. You need to be aware of yourself first and manage it, all right? Lim Wei Ling says, challenges hard to maintain, easy to be distracted, yeah. Unable to control emotions when leading a group of people in a tough situation. Yeah. Now, I honestly recently had it's called a closed door meeting where it was very important. It's an NGO, you know, we all came together and I'm the president and I prepared a very serious talk, you know, to all my, to all the volunteers in the team. And for the first time in my life, I actually broke down and cried. I didn't plan to do that. Now, this is called vulnerability. I think earlier, one of our participants here shared, Amitra, you shared about authenticity. Yeah? Vulnerability and authenticity, this word, people want to see you real. If you're going to cry, just cry. Okay, but I'm not asking you to show tantrum and all those things. Because sometimes people, you know, you're a leader, you know, you, like myself, I just, if I'm a leader, I feel responsible for everything that outside is beyond my control, but I feel that I'm responsible. You know, so it becomes like, wow, I take on a lot. And this is my learning. Yeah, people will tell me, hey, you're stupid, you know, why you must take on everything? Relax, you know, you're not even paid for this. But it's just the values that we bring on. Yeah, so this again is my self-awareness. I'm again also learning. And I'm saying, wow, this is not just in simple textbooks. And this is not how I train. I'm a trainer, I train corporates. So it's a different ball game again. Okay, if you're with your friends, you cannot be too hard also. Some are not team players, you're right, it's okay. They're not team players, so you have to, yeah, you know, you have different ways, it takes time. Some people takes time to build trust. And finally, Lai Junwei says, I can't make decisions in a short time. Hence, sometimes I can't join the discussion or help people to decide, right? So the question is, you need to let them know that, because you could be in a category, your profile is that you want to think, you are not a risk taker, you know, some people are not risk takers. They want to make sure that if they say something, they mean it and they do it. You need to do research. You need more time to think. Okay. There's some people who, they don't even think. After they talk, only then they think. Also, you have that kind of people. And these are in your team. So when you're together with them and you're having and you know, you're discussing doing something and you cannot make a decision, what happens? So they will say, you know, some people might bang the table. This is in corporate. They'll bang the table and say, why it takes so long? Come on, because of you, we are losing out. Again, conflicts happen and all. So that's why we need a norms again. What does the norm say? The norms of our culture is we respect one another. So if we respect one another, okay, we will appreciate, okay, you need time, I give you time. How long you need? That should be the way. So you can do that, yeah? You can create that. Okay. I was going to put you in breakout room, but no need, because this one I straight away we all share with each other and immediately stop, reflect. As you see, I got the voices of almost all of you. Okay, so let's stop, reflect. Okay, now we move on to this GISC profiling. I just share a little bit first. Maybe I can ask Ha to help me to put on the Zoom chat so that they can all download from their Zoom. Okay.
Yeah, coming soon.
Thanks. So GISC profiling was created 100 years ago. Feel free to Google, you know, there are tens of thousands of GISC material inside there. Very, very powerful. And I'm giving you this gift. My request is you don't sell this. You want to use it, you gift it away. Use it to help people. But don't sell this because it's not right now. It's a property of Caliber Business Solutions, but we are giving it away to you because we believe that sharing is really caring, and we want all of you to spread this out in the right way, right manner. Use it for yourself and your teams. Yeah. Okay, it's all you can download. Try and download first before I explain. Then I explain how to do it. So what is GISC? It's a profiling tool. Some of you, when you go for a job, you might go through this. They will ask you to fill up. It's a manual one, you know, while you're waiting in the interview room. They ask you to fill up the GISC. And then they put it in the score, and then they will know. If you're applying for marketing job, they will take in certain types of characteristic. You're applying for research job, project work, whatever. They use this. So when we do this, we're going to understand ourselves better. We talk about self-awareness. So blind spots, you will know your blind spots perhaps, because this is 98% accurate. Okay, I didn't create this. This was created by a team of other people and 100 years ago. Okay, we've just simplified it to 24 questions. Develop your personality strengths. It's easy to work on your strengths. It's tougher to work on your weaknesses, but you just become aware of it. Respect personality differences, because you're going to learn about different people, and know that everyone is a blend of all 4 styles. Okay, I'm going to stop share now. Okay.
Are you all able to download? Let me can check with them.
Yes, type 1 on the chat if you're able to download. I need to see. You cannot, you need to just unmute and talk to us. Let us know, please. It's very important. Good. All of you, you can open in Excel. All right. Okay. So I'm going to open it now. Stop. Okay. It's very simple. So what you need to do is the questions, do you see there are 24 questions? Okay. You need to ask yourself, what is my characteristic when I am at work, when I am doing my work, when I'm with my friends? Because most of you have not started work yet. So when you answer the questions, okay, you reflect. So type 1 word in each row that describes you best. Now you're not supposed to tick the one that you wish you were, you know. Oh, I wish I can be careful. No, it's not that. You put a 1, select the 1, type 1 at the column that you are, that is your characteristic right now. So you just go on, put like number 1, okay? When you are working with your friends, when you are studying, going to university, when you're with them, easy. When you're with your team, are you restrained? Are you forceful? Are you careful? Are you expressive? So together, everybody, let's just type 1. Type 1. You cannot choose 2. You can only choose 1. Okay, remember, you can only choose 1 answer for every row. Okay, so keep going. There are 24 questions. Once you key in, once you type 1, you will immediately get your answer. Now the answer, the score, the total should be 24. So some may have 6666 or 10, 0, 0, 14, that kind of thing. Okay, so I'm going to give you about 12 minutes for this. I even have it in Mandarin. Those of you who not sure, but you want to ask question, you just unmute and ask me. Okay, can start now. After that, you're all going to put your scores on the chat. Okay, the 4 numbers.
Hi, Miss. Do we put our results in the chat?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes, those who have, someone is asking me, yeah, you just download and attempt, correct? You just download, just click and download it. Okay. Okay, so let's see who's the first to get the result, and you can key in here. Okay, thank you. Okay, we got the first one in already. This one in. So what you can do is you can put comma also. For example, you can put 3, 2, 13, 5, up to you. Yeah, if you want to. You got to put all the 4. If it's 0, you have to put 0 also. You see? You put 4. Okay. Okay. Need to check. Some of you, the total is not 24. Just check it out. Yep. Yep. Okay. Let's keep it coming. Oh. Okay. Coming. There's no such thing as the ideal score or the right score or the wrong score. It just shows you why everyone is different number. All of us are wired differently, okay? Look at that. So how can they be same like you? That's the first learning you have also about people. Then you don't get so stressed out. Yeah. Anything above 10, double digit, consider high. Nothing wrong with that. It's your high. Also, each of you, almost all of you, have one score that is high. It could be a 13, 9, or 10, or 11. Some you have 10 and 11. So you can say you have strengths in 2 areas. But I always say, what is your highest? Okay. Okay, while we are waiting for some more friends, I just want to share a quick story. When I first did this, was my first job, even though I did this in a lot of job interviews. Never knew what it was at the time, but they got all kinds of questionnaires. Then at my first job as a management trainee, because I come from a background where I'm a leader, like a school prefect, eldest child in the family. So I have this responsibility thing. I must be responsible and lead. And my new job, I was with a bunch of management trainees. Okay, a lot of us, there were 30 of us. And we were doing the DISC, like what you all are doing now. And my score was 18, 1-8 for D. Okay, we have no friends here with a 1-8 for D. Yeah? Phew. So you'll soon learn later what is a D. So D, then I realized my blind spot about being a D, because I thought that, it's good that, I want to be fast. I want to stay back, like, if it's 5 o'clock, everyone goes home, but I will go to my GM. I'm only a management trainee, but I want to go to my GM, higher, and go and ask my GM, boss, anything I need to help you to do? Because I don't know what is bureaucracy. I didn't know that I only can report directly to my boss, supervisor. How am I supposed to know? I thought that, how can I go back? I said, when my GM is still in the room working, until what time? So I actually do that, and then the GM, he will give me the work, so he can leverage, I can help him. And I was a workaholic, and I would do that, and I would learn, because I learned one thing. If you ever want to go up in a corporate career, you can only go up if you can handle the next level's job. If you refuse to do the work, you don't want to take on more responsibilities, how can you be given the promotion, right? So I always have this thinking, then I got to do everything, I must learn all the way. So I will go to the top and ask for work. So I didn't know that people didn't like me. I didn't know. I was blind, blind spot, really blind. And one day, the worst part was when we had an overseas trip to, I was working in a hospital support service, take care of 71 government hospitals. And so we were supposed to go to Austria. Austria, they had the largest hospital in the world. I was in Austria. I was in charge of, infection control, linen and laundry and cleansing. Okay, so I'm not a doctor. I didn't go to school. I'm a marketing person. I can sell ice to Eskimo. But then I landed onto this job, and it's the first in the world. It was the largest privatization of hospital support services in the world. Yeah. So they say go to Austria to learn. And my boss only had 3 tickets. Now this is a public listed company. Those days it was called Faber Group Berhad. Now it's called UEM at Genta. Okay? I was the first batch. We started all this. I created the 91 items for all the hospitals. I remember all the linen and all the OT and all those things. So guess who my boss? I was a management trainee, and my boss, when managing director selected the GM, third person was me. The management trainee who was not even confirmed. Again, my blind spot. So it was a hoo-ha. All the senior managers were very angry and upset. And they questioned the managing director. How can you bring Claire? She's so freshy. She's so new. And you know what the managing director said? He said, look, there are so many of you senior managers. If I choose one of you, also you all will complain. And you know what? I take Claire, number 1, she can carry my bag, because by the way, I'm very tall, okay? I'm very tall, big size, like giant. So I can carry all your bags. Number 2, he said this, Claire will do all my reports. Because I'm very hardworking. So my boss can enjoy, go there, relax, and here I am doing all the work. I love it, I don't complain. Okay, so this, for me, so there's good and there's bad, right? But I learned from there. Then I learned that, Claire, I'm going to share with you what is the meaning of all the different characteristics, okay? I'm going to share screen now. Okay. All right. I see some of you here, different personalities. I won't be calling all the name one by one, but you all know who you are. And be very open. Okay, we start with this. The D category. So the D stands for, if your score, look at your scores right now. If you're highest in D, okay, meaning that out of the 4 scores, yours is the highest in D, you are what we call dominant person. We call it big hand, the hand very big. Why? Go, 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 do, push results, very results oriented. So if you are in a team, you have if you have someone who is really a driver, who focus on the results, this is definitely the D character. How are they? They're motivated by, they want the power, they want to be the leader. They want success, they must win. Yeah, motivated by that. What do they fear? They fear of losing control. That's why they want to be leader. They want to know, when can we finish it? Yeah, or they want to know that we at least do it early. So it's like at least we make sure we do it properly and finish it early. That's more important. What do they fear? They fear loss of control, being taken advantage of, and vulnerability. The fear of showing their failure. So this is one part for me as a D. I learned to let go of my fear. I learned to show my vulnerability. So I don't mind if I make a mistake. I admit I make a mistake, or suddenly I cry and break down. I'm not going to like run away and say I give up or I resign. I say I made a mistake. If you all still want me to continue the leadership, I will learn. And then I admit. Okay, so from here we know our blind spots already. So luckily I learned DISC. Otherwise, the ego, okay, another thing. High D people have a certain ego. So you will be, as you move in your career, you will meet people. Of course, you won't ask them to do DISC. But how do you know? By the way they speak. They are fast. Okay. Sometimes you can see in your lecturers, for example. Okay, the D, they speak very fast. They want things fast. They give you assignments. You can see from the way they talk, from the way they communicate, from their voice. Yeah, from the expectations from you. You know what kind of characteristic they are. So you notice certain self-confidence, certain ego, and they are high in risk-taking. They can take risks. They will say, okay, do, never try, never know. You want to do something new, never done it before, or they can create projects, they never done. These are very high dominant lecturers, forceful. Okay, what limits them? You got to understand them. They may lack concern for others because they don't realize this. Their sensitivity is lesser. Okay, just like myself, insensitive, because only think of the task, but very, very result-oriented. So look at their strengths, nothing wrong with them. But if you have a good friend who's very high D and one day you get offended, don't be, because they just sometimes talk in a very direct way. They may not even ask you first, have you eaten your lunch? How have you been? How's your mom, dad? I heard your family member, one of them got COVID. They may even forget, or they may even not even wish you whatever. So don't get offended with them. Okay, this is a D. We need them. They are very focused, results oriented. Those of you who have 0, 1, 2 for D, you want to Google and learn how do I increase my assertiveness. That just now one of you asked me, right? One of you asked, assertiveness not there. You need to work on that. So you can Google, how can I increase my dominance? How can I increase my assertiveness? There are ways, man. You got to be very conscious. Okay, I. Some of you are high in I. Inspiring, give of the gap. We call it the big mouth. Wow, why big mouth? Can sell ice to Eskimo. How do you know they are an I? They're very flamboyant, they're dressing, they come in, cover, hi, how are you? And you put a picture of the Prime Minister, they'll say, oh wow, I know your Prime Minister, I know this, I know they know everybody in town. Yeah, but they are the life of the party. Yeah. Okay, so we need, if you say you want to inspire, you need the I. I dream, I also want to have an I. But as long as we note that, be careful, because an I can be all over the place. I've got a friend who is a high I, tells me he's going to I go all the way to Brunei, for example. Yeah, this real story. Tell me, want to take me to Japanese food. I'm excited. In the plane, I'm excited about Japanese food. Reach there, drives me, then got bad jam, and then he detour, take me to eat satay. So I say, what happened to the Japanese food? Yeah, bad jam lah, go satay lah. Okay, so I changed my mind, start to think about satay. Okay, what's so great about satay? Then suddenly change the mind. Never mind, go Korean instead lah. So they can keep changing their mind, can be irritating. Right? So take note, understand the I. They are motivated by recognition, social recognition. Group activities like to join, they are not silo, they want to tell everybody, and very friendly, very outspoken. Okay? So they need to work with people who are very follow through because they could like it, they could talk, not so organized. So you may have one who's always very playful in your team, but useful because they can inspire. You give them the presentation to present. They can go and look in the mirror, present. They can help you close. They can help you present really well, but you may need to do the work, for example. Yeah. So they could be also rather emotional. Don't hurt their feelings. The I. So the D and the I tends to be fast, work fast, talk fast, also quite task-oriented. Let's move to the S. Okay, I think majority of us here happen to be S. S is called stable. Very nice people. majority of our culture, Malaysian culture. So I've done this with different races. Because I do a lot for the government of Malaysia. Government of Malaysia, majority are Malays. So majority, about 70 to 80% are in the S category. Nice, very loyal, supportive. They don't go against you. They don't fight you. They collaborate with you. They want, they say, they have this saying, you got no nice things to say, don't say. But you know what, in an organization, if you want to grow, if we all only talk nice things, I mean, if you want to, sometimes we have to give feedback. You do something wrong, you need to change. Yeah. So this is a culture we have to set. If you are all open to improvements, then let's talk about it. So we have to make it clear to the S people, for example. So I used to hurt a lot of S people. I had a real story. I used to work in a logistic company, and the secretary, she's the PA to the managing director. One day she says, Claire, let's go for breakfast. I said, let's go breakfast. So I'm a very high D. I report to the MD also. So we're eating, and I'm thinking about work. Okay, today I'm going to do this. I'm eating the janai, I'm thinking about the work. And then suddenly I just finished my food. Then I say, because she said she wants to treat me. Belanja ni. I don't argue with people. If you want to belanja, belanja lah, So I just said, thank you very much, Judy, for treating me. I got to go by. And I went upstairs, continuing my work. Wow, because I know the boss is going to come in already. And suddenly I get an email ding from her, from Miss Judy. And she's expressing herself on the email. She writes, dear Claire, I'm actually disappointed with you because, I thought we could have a nice breakfast. That's why I call you for breakfast and we can have a talk, but you were rushing and you didn't even say thank you for breakfast. Now that time, very high D, my ego came in again. My ego came out. You know what the egoistic person will do? Sorry, so I learned from it. I didn't, when I read it, forgot to think. I read it, got upset, right? Get up, I went straight to her face and I said, it's Judy, thank you for treating me breakfast. I did say thank you. You didn't hear, too bad. And I got to rush, I got to work. Wow, I went on and on and on. I went to my space, my place. I still didn't get it. It took me some time. And one day I went and apologized to her. Now, these are real blind spots. These are real blind spots. And then we get upset. She gets upset with me, and I get upset with her. Now, this is real. But if we begin to understand one another, so we must come to a level of trust that she can tell me, hey, I know, you are this kind of person. That day, what happened to you? You didn't say thank you. Then I could, if we know each other so well, I'll say, hey, I'm so sorry. Or, me lah, I very rush. I always think about work. So I cannot be giving excuses. So that's another thing. So I learned not to give excuses. Nowadays, we all can change. We can get out of our default and stretch, be something that we need to be. Okay, just now you all say, be something that is comfortable to someone else. The secret here is to mirror back the person. So if the person is very nice, talk very slow, you also go slow. Let's talk about the project. Relax. Let's go for lunch first. You also follow. Depends on who's on which side are you. Okay, so your lecturer who's an S lecturer, they don't like confrontation. They want you to be happy. Cannot do assignment, teacher, then don't do. Too much work, teacher, cannot do, then no need to do. Don't do, never mind, copy from your friend or whatever. I'm just saying, because then you get a very dominant lecturer, is that you don't do, you will fail. So you get all kinds of characteristics. But what is good for you, Okay. So now the problem is high S, you can be overly accommodating. Like one of you mentioned just now, cannot say no. So cannot say no means what? Well, you more stress. As you grow older, you realize that you very nice, you take on everything, people like you, you are likable. It's not about, so do you want to be likable, or do you want to set the thing right from the first place, make it a habit that people all, you all must share leadership, you all must learn to lead and do on your own, be independent, don't rely on me, otherwise you will suffer. This is an advice, because I do see some of my friends who actually crumble. So even though I'm a D, but I am also an S now in certain areas, especially in NGO. You want to be a D, people don't want to follow you. So must be S, must be a team player, patient. Now I count to 10 before I say anything because I'm thinking, because I'm not dealing with corporate, they're not my employees, I don't pay them, so I've got to count 1, 2, 3, they cool down. You think it's a simple thing they can do, they don't want to do. I count 1 to 10, cool down myself. So this is what happened, okay? So S are very likable people, they are very people-oriented. In the organization, given a work, they don't think about work now, they think about people. Boss say we have to finish this by 5. Then they think, ayo, cannot lah. Because that last time 1 hour, this person have to go back fetch the child. This one needs to rest 1 hour. I cannot take my lunchtime. Whereas a D won't even think of the lunchtime. Just do it. Don't get it done. Just eat and do. Why you want to think about lunch? Just get it done. The way they speak is different. So the S will get offended. They'll go one corner and cry perhaps. But there's a big conflict. And then, or they don't give their very best. Yeah. So you need to be very sensitive to all these. So you see, managing people, I'm not saying it's difficult, but it is something we need to, you got to practice. You can't open textbook, okay, this fellow like S, how do I handle? Because you have a team, members in the team, you have all kinds of characters. Be prepared to make mistakes. You will cry, like I do, even recently, but I learned. But be vulnerable and admit, be authentic and say, look, guys, give me some time. I'm learning. People respect you for that, okay? Yeah. And the last one is C. C is compliant. Just now we had a friend, right? I think it was Dave, right? About being perfect. That's you. You are wired to be perfect, perfectionist. I was in internal audit for 1 year. So my boss is a super perfectionist. You know why? Internal audit, I was taking care of the hotels in Faber. So I was sent that time, I remember, to Cameron Highlands. So she teach me how to do things. I said, okay, in my mind, I want to do things fast. Okay, read the question, go and audit, right? I look, okay, I come back. So she calls me in the room. Did you check? I said, yes, I checked. How did you check? I checked lah, just check. No, you must go in and check. Check what? Ask question, confirm the thing. I said, I got confirmed. How you confirm? Wow, all I did was wrong, She sent me back again. I went second time. Okay, so I thought I did lah. What she told me to do. I came back again, not up to her expectation. Now, was I frustrated? Yeah, she wanted to send me back that time. That time I didn't really understand this DISC thing. And I told myself, wow, this is the toughest boss. And I told myself, wow, maybe she's jealous of me or what, or she wants to give me a hard time. Okay, but then I realized that it's just her, and she's not only do this to me, but her expectations is just super, super high. Now, if she didn't learn DISC, honestly, what happened? She also will have a very tough time because all of the team members cannot reach her standard. So the question is, what can you do? I'm not asking you to reduce your standard, but what can you do? Put a framework inside so that you get what you want. Because people don't know what your standards are. Especially the I people all over the place. They just want to hoo-ha. They are very good entertaining, networking, and you send them to go and dig. Oh, wow, it's very tough. So like for me, it took me, but it was a skill that I had to learn. Right. So like for those of you who are very high C, who are very perfectionist as in, cannot, the report must be this, I cannot have the capital letter, it's not capital, the formatting, some people are very particular. I used to say creativity, no need to be format lah. I said, cannot, must format. I said, what for? Why the font here? What's wrong with the font? Never mind. Why is this bold? Why is this color? So I also learned. So both sides have to learn. Who is right, who is wrong? Not for us to say. At the end of the day, what is the result we want? What does the client want or the customer want? What is the result we want? So the norms come in. We need to see, we need to be sure of what is expected. All right, those of you who got 0, 1, 2 on the D, don't feel bad. A lot of low D, don't worry. So it's our background, where we come from. And you can change, yes, you can. If I put you today, suddenly all of you in marketing, you have to sell vitamins, let's say, FOS. Okay, you are in sales, you have to sell 1 million ringgit a month. Otherwise, all of your team members lose job. Well, you also behave differently already. Maybe you are less perfect already. Okay, you're more drive. Okay, then you start to plan. Okay, all the sales further. Sorry, you all got to cut your lunch time. No more 1 hour, maybe now 30 minutes. No, and then meetings all cut short, not 1 hour, 20 minutes. You know, you start to change. You can change. So when I was internal audit, I also changed. I become more C, meaning that more compliant. Okay, my boss, when we go out for lunch, she will make me check. She ask me to bring calculator. The bill come, ask me to press calculator. You know, that time our phone don't have numbers yet. So I'll calculate. Then I'll tell her, why you must calculate? The machine already pressed. What? She said, no, cannot trust people. You cannot believe, maybe it's wrong. She will maybe go and look at the weighing machine, you know, when you buy something, you know, go and weigh, check and see the fish really that weight or not. So my goodness. Now that was stressful for me. So, of course, my boss, you know, we all have to manage the environment. We cannot quit. Okay, but then we learn to embrace. We can laugh at it, you know, we can laugh, but to her it's very serious business. But now you all learn the ISC, you learn to manage yourself, learn to be learn to mirror back. That's the secret. Mirror the other person's characteristic. If I will give you something today, mirror. And you can change, mirror the other person. That's the way. Because people like to work with people like them. Understand? You want to get into want to be a good friend to somebody, look at the fellow's character. Mirror. You change. That fellow talk fast, walk fast, eat fast. You also talk fast, walk fast, eat fast. The fellow talk slow, soft. You also talk slow, soft. Mirror back. Because that person didn't do DISC. Okay, now a lot of you are single here. You want to use the DISC to get your partner, you can. Opposites attract. Now don't try and get the same like you. Really, if my husband is also like a D like me, oh dear, what's going to happen? So I'm married to an S, but if I didn't learn about DISC, I would have pulled my hair every day because they are wired differently. So the world is amazing, makes the world a better place by having different characteristics, okay? So it's almost, it's 4 o'clock. I like to have your feedback, all right? I'd like you to share with me, put in the chat, everybody, what are your feelings and what is the one thing you learned today? A takeaway, okay? What is your takeaway? Please type on the chat. I give you 1 minute to think. Okay, I'm doing a stop reflect here. 1 minute to think, type on the chat. All of you type on the chat and then press enter. We need all of you to see who is in the room. Then only we give you your certificates. Okay, what is your takeaway? Be very honest. Something that you can, my aha moment, I can use this from the earlier that I came in and I was talking, answering your questions. It could be one word, it could be one sentence. What is it? Okay, 1 minute from now, write on the chat.
Sorry, could you repeat what you said just now?
Yeah, I put on the chat also. What is your takeaway from these 2 hours? What is your takeaway? What you learn? What did you learn? Of course, if you feel you want more, then you noted also lah. You want more, you need more. What is your takeaway from these 2 hours? It's just an overview. Okay. Trigger for you to know more. All right, you may type enter once you have written your learning and takeaway. Thank you. Yeah, manage people, personality, you see. I have just got everyone's feedback by doing the stop reflect. If I didn't use this technique, not everyone gets to speak and I can't get everyone's voices. So now you see the power of this. Okay, yes, thank you. Keep coming. Yeah, I see all the great quotes. Nur Fatin, you know, we can't change people, but we can change ourselves. Be constrained and honest with people. Yeah, all of it amazing. Feast 5, yes. Thank you. I'm very mindful of time. So I really appreciate all of you, your time. And I hope that what we have shared, we'll actually share with you the notes, you know, that you can continue to make an impact and a difference. And remember that it's a journey, but at least today you have something, a tool to bring back, which is the DISC, yeah, to work with people. You can start with your friends, even your family members. You don't have to wait until you are in the corporate, because we are already starting to learn to manage here at university. Thank you so much. From a rating of 1 to 5, now you give me rating. Yeah, let's all, 1 to 5, give me a rating. 1 being, oh, you're wasting my time, Claire, you're wasting my time. 3 being okay, 5 being best, great. Give me a rating, please. I also want feedback, because feedback is a breakfast of all champions. Yes, thank you very much. Thank you, really appreciate that you, yes, thank you so much. Okay. Now I pass to Ha. We're going to take a picture with everybody. Over to you. You can unmute. Yeah, we're going to stay on and all on your video.
All right. Thank you, Claire, for this. How many of you find that it's a wonderful session today? Yes? Give a 5. Give me a high 5 so that we know that, because it's a wonderful session. Yeah. All right. Now, for your, right, in order to get yourself a certificate, right? So here's the little QR code. Please scan this QR code in order for it, and then you need to answer some questions and give us a evaluation, a feedback evaluation of the program. And then there is a requirement for that. Once you have done that, then you will get your certificate sent to you, e-certificate. Okay. Maybe I can pass it to Najwa. Can I say something, Najwa? You need to unmute.
Okay, just unmuted.
All right. Pass it to you, Najwa.
Thank you very much to our coach Claire. I think we met before. Do you still remember me?
Hi, Najwa.
Oh, I can't hear her because my volume is like.
Oh, okay.
Hold up.
Yes.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes. I met you before. Yes.
Okay. So thank you very much for your time. I hope every one of you have benefit from the session. We have 4 more essential skills session with IPCDU. So for those students who have participated in this session and think that this is something important, please register yourself for the next 4 session. We will advertise it nearer to the session. Thank you for your time.
Najwa, the scan, the message says that you cannot access the QR code. This was the same QR code that we have. Is there any issues? Let me check now. Everybody please stay back for a little while we sort this out. Let me check now. Najwa, we cannot accept the QR code. There is a error message saying this form is currently not accepting responses. It's the same QR code, right? From the previous one.
It's okay. We will send an email to all the students, participants after this.
Right, sure. Okay, all right. So everybody, I think Najwa will send it to you. So now I think, shall we all on your video and have a picture together? Everybody please on your video. Everybody, yeah. So don't be shy. Yushan, everybody, Joshua, Wei-Ling, whatever, R, Aisha, Kashin, Xin-Yun, right, Joshua. All right, gotta take a picture together. All right, ready? 1, 2, go. First page, I'm gonna go to second page now. Just hold on for a little while. Ready? 1, 2, go. One more, let me see. I think that's it. Let's do it again. One more time. One more time. One to go. Second page.
You also don't know your English page, right?
All right. Thank you very much, everybody. So, Najwa, any more to say? Anything else? Thank you all for your participation today. Yeah, thank you for all your feedback as well, even though your videos are off, but at least you are participating in your chat. Thank you very much for that. So, Najwa?
No, nothing more from us. IPCDU, hope to see you in the next session. All of you.
Sure. Thank you. So just please sign up for the next 4, yeah? Okay.
Yes, correct.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.